Hello from Beta Bay Toastmasters, featuring clubs from San Francisco to Monterey. My name is Ken Mann. I'm going to be your host for the show. We're going to have a condensed meeting today which emulates our regular Toastmasters meeting. We're going to have 2 speakers and 2 evaluators. And then we're going to have a segment in between. I'd like to introduce our first speaker for tonight. The objective of his speech is to be an entertaining, humorous speech. The title of his speech is My First Hour of 24 Hour. Please help me welcome Jean-Francois Roy.
Thank you very much. Mr. Toastmasters, fellow Toastmaster and viewer at home, when I moved to this country 10 years ago, I was not in good shape. I was your typical unfit Frenchman. My bones were made of French baguette. My muscle had the texture of brie. Whatever was flowing in my vein was closer to wine than it was blood. And the only cardio exercise I ever got consisted in taking a pack of cigarettes from my pocket to my mouth. One day, I was at a drive-thru at Burger King when I realized that the attendant had given me my order without me asking for anything. I had been there so often she knew exactly what I wanted to eat. That day was a tipping point for me. I decided to take my shape back under control. So that day, I decided to join a gym. And I decided to join 24-hour fitness. And I'm going to share with you today my first experience, my first hour at 24-hour fitness. So now you would think the experience at the gym starts inside the gym. No, not at all. It starts outside, in the parking lot. Here you have a very large structure, hundreds of parking spaces, with cars only parked right in front of the gym, and everything else is empty. So as I'm parking in one of the empty spaces, I see this lady turning and turning around to find a space right in front. And as she comes out, I can see her dressed like she's been ready for the Boston Marathon. The most expensive shoes, the most expensive shirt, the Lycra jacket, everything, the most high-tech things. And as I'm passing by her, she's talking to one of her friends who asked her, "Why did you take so long to park?" She said, "I just don't like to walk. It's too far." I thought to myself, this is a new world. Let's enter. So now you enter the gym. And the first thing you see is a lobby or front desk. So here you have this little square with 8 to 9 people that are all the rookies and the newbies that could not make it a trainer right away. So they put them all here, and the only job is to take your membership card and say, "Have a good workout." It's my first time, so they say, "Do you want to take a tour?" They check my ID, and I said, "I'd like to see the gym." Say, "Go ahead." Now you would think walking in a gym is simple. Oh, not at all. You don't just walk like that. Here you have these muscle, on steroid, big tattoo guys looking at you on both sides of the aisle saying, "Ooh, newbie coming, fresh meat coming." And you see their tattoo shining and they say, "We're going to eat him alive." And I look at them, I need to blend in. I need to belong. I can't just walk like that, French and pale, while they're looking at me saying, "Oh, fresh meat." So I take my courage and I go straight, looking proud and like I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm walking proudly straight forward. I can see the locker room door right in front of me, and I walk with confidence. I'm like, this is where I'm going. I belong to this place. And I open the door and I enter right into the janitor closet. Yes, my friend, brooms, buckets, you name it. My pride was gone. I step out slowly. No more pride. Ask, "Please, where are the locker rooms?" They indicate where to go. So I walk in shame to the locker room. Now the locker room at 24-hour fitness. I don't know if you've ever watched the Discovery Channel where they do reports on the Amazon River. You know that large brown body of water with things floating around and you don't exactly know what they are? This is about what the floor in locker room of 24-hour fitness looks like. And along with the Amazon River, you have the Amazon native, aka the old naked man with his towel looking at you and says, "How are you doing today?" Needless to say that in my pale, French, out of shape tunic, I didn't stay very long in a locker room. And I got out. So now I had 3 choices where to start visiting. The first was a cardio room, the second was a free weight room, and the third was a cable room. Cardio room. I didn't think it would be a very good idea to have a heart attack on my first day at the gym. I'll pass. Weight room. Here are people who eat steroids for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I didn't belong to there. So I went to the cable room, grabbed a cable, grabbed another one, let go, jump, humiliated myself a little bit again, played for a while, and as I was getting satisfied with my experience, it was time to meet with a trainer or a counselor. Now, just like the different room, there is different kinds of trainer. You don't just pick one trainer. And there's actually 3 kinds. The first one, I call it the socialite. His job is to be paid for 45 minutes to chat with you about life, about what's going on, but absolutely not about working out. It works great for housewife who have time in the morning, who wants to just kill time and need some company. Not my type. Then the second type is a look at me trainer. The look at me trainer is a trainer that thinks he has something better to look at than you. As he's walking out with you, he's looking around to see if there's somebody cuter, fitter, and he's actually sometimes working out on himself, not caring about you at all. Not my type of trainer as well. And the third kind, my favorite kind, the Nazi trainer. He's a trainer that's going to make you do your reps no matter what's going on with you. Either you're having convulsion or you're having a heart attack, he's going to make you finish these reps. He's a guy who's going to make you finish everything. And that's my kind of trainer. So I sit with one of his Nazi trainer in a little cube and he says, okay, I have different options for your membership. If you buy 10 years in advance, instead of $50 per month, it's only going to cost you $20 per month. And I look at him, do I look like a fool? I don't even know if I'll be back tomorrow. I want the expensive $50 a month, month-to-month membership. Just so you know, my friends, I've been going there for 10 years. Yes, finance is not my forte. So as I sign up my contract and walk out, you may think, what a gloomy experience. I don't ever want to go to this gym. But my friend, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. As I'm exiting the gym in that same large parking lot I came in, the clouds open up, the sun starts shining, the birds start singing, and right across the parking lot I see this sign that says 24-hour fitness super sport. And what is that? I walk into it, it's an upgraded version of 24-hour fitness. You have towel services, basketball court. You can actually see the floor in the locker room. Unbelievable. So that day, I joined the 24-hour fitness super sport. And as I just mentioned, I've been going for 10 years. And I would trade my cell phone, my cable subscription, or anything before I cancel my gym. And I invite you all, if you have ever a chance, to go and join a 24-hour fitness super sport. And if one day you go, I'll be there doing free weights like one of these guys, looking at you, waiting with my tattoos and saying, oh, fresh meat coming in, newbie, we're going to get him. Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster. Thank you.
Thank you. So what club are you with?
I belong to 4 clubs.
4 clubs.
My home club is San Francisco Toastmaster in the city.
All right. And what got you involved in Toastmasters?
Originally, I joined my company club, which was, the idea was to network and meet people in my company and also improve my public speaking skills, given that I'm a non-native from the US.
So are the tattoos real?
They are real, ladies.
Well, thank you so much for coming up.
Thank you very much for having me.
I appreciate you coming up, and it was a great speech. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next section of our program is our first evaluator. She comes from SAP Toastmasters. She's going to be evaluating Jean-Francois' speech. Please help me welcome Heather Cowan.
This is the second time I've heard Jean-Francois' speech, and I laughed even harder this time. Jean-Francois, you certainly fulfilled the objective of your speech, which was to entertain and humor. And I applaud you on giving such a funny speech that was also appropriate for the audience, because that can be difficult to do. I really liked how you started off your speech. You gave some great, little analogies, and I liked how you equated your bones to being like baguettes. Your, insides to being like brie cheese, or blood to being like wine. I mean, it really kind of caught your audience and got everyone engaged, and you used some really good humor. I thought that you set up your speech very well. You had a clear introduction, and you made excellent eye contact with the audience. You didn't have to rely on note cards. And what I really enjoyed throughout your entire speech is that you have very good inflection of your voice. And you did a really excellent job of setting the scene. So when you were explaining what the gym was like, I felt like I was almost there. I could see the spots on the locker room floor. And the analogies, what you had related the gym to being like the dirty Amazon River. That was very funny, and you do an excellent job of doing that. I thought also that you built up your speech very well, and you built up the ending very well. I knew that there was going to be some sort of surprise, and I couldn't remember everything that you had said the first time I heard your speech, and so to me it was new, and it was fresh, and it was exciting, and this time you gave it, I thought it was even better than the last. Some tips for improvement. I think you did use very good body gestures, but you could use a little more. And I also think that, your speech was so good. There's not much to critique. But I think maybe you could ask the audience a few questions. Ask them, hey, have you ever been to a gym where it's been like that? And have your speech be a little more interactive than just talking to your audience. However, you're a natural speaker, very talented, and I highly enjoyed listening to your speech tonight. Job well done.
Great. Thank you, Heather. Thank you. Next up, we have a segment about an advanced club in Silicon Valley called Next Step. They're going to be demonstrating how to do effective evaluations. I hope you find this segment very educational.
At Next Step, we believe that anyone joining our club would like to take themselves to their own personal growth and to a higher level than what they're at.
This is a person that's seeking to go higher in their advancement of speaking. Basically what they're looking for is a little bit more of a tougher standard.
Evaluation is what helps you get to a higher level of speaking and leadership. When the speaker comes in and says, I want to be good enough to win international contests, we give them the honest, direct feedback on what we believe will take him to that level.
Before the speech started, I asked Wani, so now what do you want out of this? Why are you repeating this, and what do you think are your strengths and weaknesses? So he gave me his impressions, and I promised, okay, I'll do my best. And here's what I observed in his speech. So that's the flip side to that would have been the structure, where it lacked a clear beginning, a body, and the end. I heard a lot about you, I learned a lot about you today, but I thought that it could have a really clear, concise.
What I really liked about your speech was the stories came from your heart. The story about your sister, the story about your Toastmasters journey, as I would have expected from a competent speaker like yourself. But the reason why you're here is to help you get to the next level. So I'm going to share with you a few things that I hope you can use in your next speeches. The very first line, very first opening.
I thought that you had some really good statistics. What I was missing a little bit is the personal connection and some stories. So I thought personalizing that a little bit more might have drawn us all in a little bit. You spent a lot of time identifying the problem, but I was missing a little bit more on the solution.
Have you watched American Idol? Yes. Well, I'm going to play the part of Simon, so buckle your seatbelts.
You have to be able to accept the input, and it's genuine, it's sincere, it's how we feel when we hear your speech, and sometimes our perception of ourselves is not exactly how the audience views us. So the main ingredient is being willing to accept the input to become better.
So take those and tie it into this message that you want to deliver to us.
Try that next time, and I think the more you're able to do that, it can be a little painful at times, but it'll be worth it to the next level. But otherwise, I thought you're at the right place to help get to that next level, Madam Toastmaster.
Welcome back to Beta Bay Toastmasters. Next up is going to be our second speaker for the show. His objective of the speech is to research a topic. The title of his speech is What is Reality? Please help me welcome Vish Pattanashetty.
What is reality? Well, that's an easy question to answer, right? I'm standing here giving a speech. You're sitting there pretending to listen. But let's understand. How do you know that I'm standing here giving a speech? Well, you can see me. You can hear me. In the studio audience, if you come over, you can touch me. Well, I took a shower. Hopefully I don't smell. Let's not talk about tasting me. So how do you know I am standing here giving a speech? Well, your senses are telling your brain, and your brain is analyzing and telling you that I am standing here giving a speech. In other words, everything is happening inside you. So you don't have a reference outside you telling you that I am standing here giving a speech. I could be the figment of your imagination. You could be imagining me looking like this, but I could actually be looking like George Clooney. You never know. I try to tell my wife that, but she says, I wish. Now, we cannot rely on our senses to tell us about reality. Because if we did that, then we would say the earth is flat, the sun revolves around the earth, or the moon and the sun are about the same size. We need something else. Besides, senses are very limited in our understanding of reality. Can we see ultraviolet rays? Can we see infrared rays? Can we hear more than 20,000 hertz? No. Does that mean that world does not exist? No. So we need something better than our senses to understand reality. And that other better thing is the science, experiments, results of scientific experiments. Now let's understand how much our reality is based on the scientific experiments. We all know that we are made up of atoms, right? Now atoms, if you think of an atom has a nucleus surrounded by electrons. Now do you know the relationship of the size between the nucleus and the atom? If the nucleus is the size of a tennis ball, the atom is the size of a football stadium. It's so huge. And the electrons, you know how tiny the electrons are? If the atom is the size of the earth, electrons are the size of the fingernails. They're so tiny, so tiny. So it's mostly empty space. The question is, do we understand empty space? Let's take an empty space, completely empty, take away all the material, take away all the radiation, take away all the light, completely empty, and you weigh it. And you would think it would have zero weight, right? But no, it has some weight. How is that possible? Well, according to physicist Lawrence Krauss, he says, empty space is made up of, at the quantum level, boiling, bubbling brew of virtual particles which pop in and out of existence at a speed so fast we cannot look at them, see them. And what do we know about these virtual particles? Nothing. We know nothing about them. Okay, so we know nothing about empty space. What about the material part? Let's take all the material, the planets, the stars, and the asteroids, the radiation, the light, everything. Let's take all of that in the universe and compare it to the mass of the universe. Do you know what percentage it is? It forms 0.4% of the entire universe. What about the remaining percentage? Okay, the intergalactic gas forms another 3.6%. Okay, so that's 4%. What about the remaining 96% of the mass of the universe? It's made up of this mysterious stuff called the dark matter and the dark energy. 96%. And do you know what we know about the dark matter and dark energy? Nothing. What do we know? How about this thought experiment? What if? Think about it. What if? What if the entire human knowledge about reality is wrong? What is reality? We don't know, Jack. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you. So, Vish, what club are you with?
I'm with the 3 clubs, Next Step and Walk Puttagaloo and Talking Heads.
And what got you involved in Toastmasters?
I love to speak. I say, give me a crowd, put me before a crowd, and give me a mic and shoot the timer, and here I am.
So what is your favorite pastime? What do you do for fun?
What I do for fun besides speaking is I like to go on hikes. I like hiking, and I used to like rock climbing.
Oh, really?
Although you can't tell by looking at me right now, but.
Well, thank you so much.
All right.
Next up is going to be our second evaluator. He's from Fair Oaks Toastmasters, and he'll be evaluating Vish's speech. Please help me welcome Stan Ng.
Well, Vish, I've heard a lot of topics covered in Toastmasters, but I don't think I've ever heard anything as broad as what is reality. So I take my hat off to you for tackling some very, very deep questions. And what I liked about the way you open the speech is that everybody knows that you're going to cover a very deep question. What is reality? Nothing gets more nakedly bold than that topic. And to top it off, you then repeated the name of your title, What is Reality? So if there's any doubt, we knew that you're going to tackle some very weighty subjects. But then you did something very surprising. You went into some jokes. And that's what I liked, because if you come across with some very weighty topics and then try to drill your point across just from the very start, you can lose you can lose people. And you did a very good job of cracking some jokes about your being George Clooney and some absurd things like that. And that goes to my other point, is that you are a very natural speaker in that you know how to modulate your voice. In this one topic, you commanded with great authority. You had moments of silence well placed. You had whispers, sarcasm, you had joviality. You used all these tools very well. So I commend you for that. You have a very good grasp of what vocal variety is and what you have to do to command a person's attention. I would like to encourage you, though, to narrow your topic down. You have a very good, I've seen one of your speeches before, and you're not afraid to attack some very, very weighty questions. However, I sat through the speech wondering where you were going with this. And as I stand here now, I'm still wondering, what should I bring away from this? You can go several ways with this. You can say that we don't know Jack, right? That's how you ended your speech. But I was less than satisfied with that. Maybe you should say that we don't know Jack. We will continue not to know Jack, no matter how much we think about it. And perhaps we should instill within ourselves a sense of humility for what we think we know. And even though we think we may know what the world consists of, we need to take a step back and realize our place in the world. So, thank you.
Thank you, Stan. Well, we have a couple overachievers tonight from a speaking standpoint. One gentleman is a member of 4 clubs, the other gentleman is a member of 3 clubs. Please, let's give them a round of applause. Both did a great job. So don't want to scare you away. If you're a speaker out there that wants to improve your public speaking skills, Toastmasters can be a very friendly environment for you to learn how to increase your public speaking skills. There are over 220 clubs in the District 4 area, which is the Greater Bay Area, and over 4,500 members. So that gives you an idea of how many people that really will help you out in terms of developing your public speaking skills. I've seen it for myself. I've been with Toastmasters for about 16 years, and I've seen people that have come in, and at the beginning they were very nervous, they didn't know how to use body language, they didn't know how to use vocal variety, and then 6 months, a year later, they were accomplished speakers, they had made great strides, and it's just a very rewarding experience to see those people grow. So this concludes another episode of Beta Bay Toastmasters. Thank you very much.